and welcome to Four Stories Dublin. This is Paul, this is Dean, this is Liam. This is a very, very special episode today because this Friday we are going to go see Avatar, The Way of Water, the latest film directed by James Cameron. You know the story about James Cameron. If you don't, here are the movies he's directed. Aliens, Titanic, Terminator 1 and 2, Avatar, the first movie, and now this, because we are going to watch the final trailer for Avatar, The Way of Water. Now, what we're going to do is that we are going to discuss about, not just the movie, but the general futures of the franchise that James Cameron has been planning for the past 13 years. Brilliant. That's what he does nowadays. So, without further ado, are you ready to watch the trailer?
Let's give it a go.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
The way of water connects all things. Before your birth and after your death.
A network of energy that flows through all living things. All energy is only borrowed. And one day you have to give it back.
Dad.
He looks better graphics-wise, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I know you think I'm crazy.
13 years well spent.
But I feel her.
Do
I
they
hear
age
her
the same as
heartbeat.
humans?
She's so close.
What does Ava's heartbeat sound like?
According to the plot, it takes
Mighty.
place a decade after the first movie.
I think that I
10
thought
years.
that, yeah.
Why
Yeah.
do you come to us?
The humans are returning.
Oh, I knew that.
They're hunting us. I just want to keep my family safe. You do not know the sea. We will learn your ways.
If you want to live here, you have to ride.
Let's do it.
We must protect the people. This is our home.
I need you with me. Alien, that's all they see.
I see.
This is our home. This is our family.
Wherever we go, this family is our fortress.
Right, so he's had a family now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it looks weird.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Oh my
doesn't
God! Yes.
It? That looks brilliant.
Okay. So, should we go into a discussion about what we just saw?
Well, as we've seen, the humans are coming back now. So there's going to be another war between them. But
Yeah.
by the looks of it, they're living underwater now. They live underwater or they live on an island?
Well, I think Cameron wants to expand upon the world of Pandora that was established in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it definitely would explore the oceans of Pandora.
Right, you see, the thing with me is, right, I didn't really remember the film too much. I remember watching bits of it, and I have to be honest with you, South Park kind of ruined it for me. Because they said it was like Dances with Wolves with big s'mores.
Everyone says that. That's a common criticism.
Yeah.
But I tell you that I
Well,
remembered.
I watched it, so I kind of tried to take that away, and I remember watching bits of it years ago, and the whole lot. And so I rewatched it. Now, I have to say, I did enjoy it. But I would say, it does feel like a lot of James Cameron's movies put together, doesn't it?
I would say that. But I could tell you that I saw that first at the very cinema we're going to go to on Friday. I saw that years ago in 2009
Yeah.
in 3D. And I was 11 years old. And I remember the first time I saw that movie, I was blown away.
Yeah.
Like, I was legitimately moved by what I just seen.
Yes.
Pandora, not just as a whole, but the characters that were explored and just basically the story that Cameron wanted to tell. It's kind of, yes, it can rehash it can be rehashed. It does borrow
Felt
elements.
a bit like Dances with Wolves
Yeah.
at times, and then
Yeah.
it became
But-
Terminator at the end.
But I think the thing that makes it work is, I just rewatched the films, the first film recently. The thing that makes it work for me is James Cameron's attention to detail in every aspect of filmmaking, including characters, including the way Pandora is shown.
I think it's more his imagination. I think that's the beautiful thing of the way he's
Yeah,
done it.
I watched it and I said to myself, right, the characters were very good, but the cast were fantastic.
They were fantastic.
Yeah, Joe from Alien in it as well.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney
and it's
Weaver.
Yeah.
the gas for her to fight someone, to see someone in a bio suit, when
Pretty
she
cool.
was the first person probably
going to do that.
on film to
Yeah.
be that.
Yeah.
And I thought even the bad guy in it. Now I don't know the film as well as you, but the bad guy, the grey-haired fella,
Oh, the
Cast is
Stephen.
perfect.
He was-
Colonel Quadrich, played by Stephen Lang.
he was brilliant.
He was incredible.
And you know what he'd make it great if they ever wanted to do a Tekken film of Brian Fury. He would be the perfect Brian Fury. Seriously, he has the look. It's an amazing. It was a good film. I did really enjoy it, and it is a film all the family can sit down and watch.
Yeah.
It doesn't get too adult, but it doesn't get too childish.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I was used to kind of sometimes, like, well, let's say God of War, I might watch all the cinematics of it. So I remember feeling a bit jarring at the start where there were the humans and then it was that. But then after like 10 minutes, I just bought into the world.
You bought into the world because the writing of it, because James Cameron succeeds at wanting you to care about those characters, even if they were motion captured, even if they were digitally created. He knows how to make them alive. Him and the VFX team did such an amazing job at like everything. And seeing that trailer, they've improved like a whole lot, and it still doesn't take away from the emotion of the first film, at least from what I've seen. But
Well, a big thing I liked about the first one is there was a proper ending. So you knew where things were.
Yeah.
There was no what's going to happen,
Yeah.
cliffhanger, wait for the next film. The ended it. So obviously the humans are back.
Well, we knew that there was already going to be a second one anyway.
Yes.
Because he already had plans that he wanted to make a third and a fourth one.
and a fifth one, and he has potential plans for a sixth and seventh one.
But see, he had most of the cameras that he used made himself. He had to get them,
Oh, Sony.
some of them made.
Yeah.
Just so he could bring out the
film
effect
what
he
he
wanted.
wanted,
Like.
yeah.
And I because we waited so long, I actually got over the fact that they were going to make a second or third one. I didn't buy into it then. Then within the last year, you seen the trailer go out for the
The
second
first
one.
trailer.
But he went and made number 2, and then straight away made
Back
number
to
3
back.
and 4.
They filmed it simultaneously.
Yeah, so he didn't stop for probably about 3 years.
He
running,
started
didn't
filming
stop.
those sequels about 5 years ago.
He did. The question I have of it is, you know, why their avatar, that he was an avatar.
Yeah.
And I think like you can buy into it so much because it's like a video game, isn't it?
Yeah.
The video game, you get into a character
Yeah.
and then you play in their world. But what's the actual natives called in it? Because we hear the tribe, but there seems to be different tribes in it, doesn't there?
I guess we'll have to wait and see once we go see the movie. But I think it really intrigues me because I kind of get the feeling that rather than being a cash grab, this is genuinely a story that Cameron really wanted to tell. Like, he wanted to make the film straight after Titanic all the way back in 1999. But he couldn't do it because the technology wasn't available in that year and it would have been too expensive to make. So he had to wait 12 years so he could finally make the first movie. Then he had to wait another 12 years for other technology to develop, specifically capturing motion capture underwater.
Yeah.
There was a boat scene in the first movie where you get to see Jake Sully underwater, but it wasn't achieved by him being actually underwater.
And he was an actor I liked. He was in
Sam
Terminator.
Worthington?
Yeah.
Sam Worthington?
In Terminator Salvation, he
That's
was very
his name.
good. And
Yeah.
I know he kind of lost the plot a bit, but I would have liked to see him in more movies.
People slayed him for that Terminator
I
Salvation.
thought he was pretty.
Him and Christian Bale and everything. I thought it was a good movie.
There was issues with the story at the end, I think, but I actually liked him. And it's funny, like, he... At the start, obviously, you see him in his humour form. And it's so interesting to see a man that was in a wheelchair then gain legs and how he embraced it. But, like, there was bits of that film where he was literally doing Rambo, and I'm like, go on, Rambo.
Yeah.
Or then, go on, Jake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I am actually looking forward to the next film. Now, there is a burning question with this.
Yeah.
Will it make enough money to cover the costs? Because he spent big on this, didn't he?
Well,
I'd say that's why he made the second, third, and fourth straight after the other. He'd get his budget back big time.
I think the thing I can say is that we've asked that question with Titanic, and it made $1 billion. Then we asked that question with the first Avatar movie, and it made $2 billion. And currently, it's the highest grossing movie of all time. I'm not going to say that yes, it will make money. I don't know if I can say that, but there's a chance that. But there's a chance, given his track record of how his past movies have done financially, I would say there's a chance it could make its money back. Now, the possibility of it not making money could happen.
Yeah.
But
It's very unlikely.
Because he did discuss he'll only do up to the third one
Yeah.
if he doesn't think there's not enough money made.
yeah. But like, I think the thing I can say is that James Cameron is a man who takes big risks.
Yes.
And I mean big risks,
Terminator
especially in
2
his
was a
filmmaking.
big risk.
It's like the
Great
first
film.
Yeah,
It's the very first film to have a triple. It's the very first film to be made with $100 million budget. And Titanic was practically the first film to be made with a $200 million budget. That's the common budget with blockbusters nowadays.
And you don't get a lot for them.
Yeah. And back at the time, Titanic was made with a $200 million budget, the studios were so worried. Like, they thought it was going to bomb. It was going to bomb.
I do think this will have world appeal, though.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the characters of the natives in it, it doesn't matter what part of the world you're from. You can kind of identify with them, can't you?
It's the quality that the film is done, and James Cameron imagination
Yeah.
in it is that's in eyesight in itself as as to what's going to bring people.
Because I think in Asia this film is going to do great.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to really do well because it's otherworldly, isn't it?
Yeah. It's... I don't think I can express the amount of reignited excitement that I had with The Way of Water. If it's been 13 years since we got the first film,
Yeah.
but hopefully it'll be worth it when it lives up to the first.
And that was a great film on its time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like the quality was praised for something fierce. Like if you'd seen that in 3D or whatever else, like it
You even
was
say
so
the
realistic.
attention to detail there.
Yeah.
I love a way the humans' military equipment is like our military equipment now. And there's a dirtiness to it, and there's an ugliness to it.
Yeah.
And then when you look at it, like I remember when I watched last film, when you were looking at the natives people, their world was beautiful, and the humans was
So good.
such
Hell on
an
earth, like.
ugly, cold place. You
The
know what I mean?
music. The music.
The music, the whole lot.
I am going to miss James Horner.
Yes,
Yes.
well, I mean, Braveheart soundtrack, and that
Yeah.
man was.
Do you know who would have been great for an Avatar? The soundtrack, Hans Zimmer.
Nah.
What?
James Horner's music is absolutely beautiful. I do not believe Zimmer's style would have fit with Avatar. I'm much more interested in seeing what Simon Franklin is doing. He's going to compose the music for the sequels.
He is he?
He is. And he worked...
And what's his previous work?
Well, he worked with Horner before.
So he'll know what his style is.
He'd know what his style is.
And the gas thing is, I didn't even consider the music in it because it was just part of it.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it was a song.
It was normal. You felt it was
over.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music just fits into Pandora. I especially love... Oh my god. Sorry. I've just been really excited about it. Just talking about
it's
it.
great.
Just
Great.
It's just talking to you about it. Just discussing every single aspect about it. Like,
Well, it's going to be interesting on Friday, I think,
yeah,
and we'll see where it goes on Friday and what we think.
yeah.
As I said, I'm not walking in with huge expectation.
I don't
I want to be entertained. That's what I'm
I'm
looking
going to
for.
go in with an open mind again. this
Open
time.
mind again, yeah.
Most definitely.
I will definitely come in with an open mind, seeing could this be good or could this be bad. But I have huge excitement for this movie because,
Yeah.
like, I really love James Cameron and his work. I love his movies. I grew up watching his movies. I could say his movies have been like a major
Prolific.
inspiration, you know? And, you know, just to see him return after a dozen years again, it's quite the relief.
Yeah. Well, they thought I'd never get to cinema at the stage.
Yeah.
Was the big thing. So we're all looking forward to a Friday, and
Yeah.
we'll probably post our live when we come out of the cinema. We won't do a full review, but we'll give our quick thoughts on it. I think.
Yeah.
Or if anyone sees us there, don't be afraid to come over and say hello.
Yeah. It's gonna be a full screening, a full packed screening tonight.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. So we'll talk more on the Friday.
We will.
Brilliant.
So-
We're looking forward.
Thanks
James
again.
looking
Oh,
forward.
one more thing. James Cameron, if you're watching, please hire us.
Right, like, share, and subscribe. And 4 Stories Dublin. See you.
See ya.
That was great work.
That was incredible.
I like that. That was cute.